Hey Tetsu, welcome to the podcast. How you doing today?
I'm really hyped to see you again.
Strasha Techan Sensei, could you please enlighten us and educate us on what Ouchi Ego is?
Okay. Oichi Eigo is a kind of a new educational term in Japanese language. I'm going to explain it briefly. There are hundreds and thousands and millions of parents who want to give a great English education to their children early on. But the problem which Japanese societies have now on is that there are not so many good preschools, elementary school, junior and senior high schools, which provide a good English education. So in Ochiego, each individual parent enjoy learning English with their kids, like focusing on their kids' talent or taste or character or personality.
So does that mean that doesn't involve like hiring a teacher, like a 家庭教師 or like a 英会話先生 to come to your house and teach your kids English? Is it something more that parents are directly involved with the development of their kids and their English abilities?
As you said, in Ochego, parents do not hire any instructors or teachers. Just
Okay.
just the kind of parents can be players as well as director or instructors at the same time.
Gotcha. So like no classes, no online lessons, none of that. It's essentially creating like an environment at your home so that your kids can learn English just from being at their oji, at their home, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the other day, last Friday, I had a Twitter open space with the Chimiko-san, who is the one of the charisma in Ochego. She has the 20,000 followers. Most of her follower is from Ochego, and she always gives a bits and pieces of advices on how to do Ochego, and then she's got so many fans and followers from Ochego, and there are so many kinds of methods which we can do in Ochego, but at the same time, parents also wondered whether their methods and their provision, their strategies are okay or not. So I said that the parents do not need any, they don't hire any teachers or instructors at home, but at the same time, parents need proper strategies in Ochego.
Exactly. Yeah. And, even for me, I have two kids now, a year and 8 months and also a 3-month-old. And, for me, that is something that I think about all the time too. How do I raise my kids to be bilingual? Because, there is a part of me that will love to see both of my kids speak both English and Japanese. But like you said, I don't know if what I am doing is correct or not. And I feel like there is no mom or dads in this world that could feel 100% certain that their approach is correct. One thing that I learned very quickly about being a parent is that every kid is different. Every family is different. Every situation is different. So there is no one size fits all type of approach that you can use when it comes to educating your kids in multiple languages. There are maybe guidelines that you can follow, but just because one family did it a certain way and it worked, it doesn't necessarily mean that will work for you.
Yeah, and also on top of that, in last Friday's Twitter Space session, I gave us another like kind of advice to parents, which was like, parents can also enjoy learning English with their kids too, because like most of the Japanese adults, the parents, have a quite high knowledge about vocabulary and grammar. because they've learned so many stuff, like moving towards the juken, the entrance examination. But it's really weird and funny that the Japanese like adults feel inferior like in speaking English, but they can have I want them to have a more confidence in speaking English, writing English, and enjoying English. And then if the little kids see their parents enjoy learning English, and they can be the kids' mentor, and then probably parents then will not be able to gain more confidence, and then kids also like catch up English more quickly with the mentors. Yeah.
I am definitely a believer in the approach that you should do and not tell. It's easy as a parent to tell your kids they should do this, or they have to study this, or they have to learn this specific language. But as a parent, if you are not the one doing it, then after a while, the kids are going to start wondering, why do I have to do it? You don't do it, kind of thing. So I think the best approach really, for me personally, and everybody has different beliefs. So, I think it's okay to disagree on this point, but I've always had a strong belief that you have to be the person that leads by example. One of the questions that I get asked a lot by many parents who are thinking about raising their kids to become bilinguals, parents who want to start teaching their kids English at an early age. When should we start? Is there like an age that we should start at? Is there an age that's like the perfect time? What do you say to that? Like, at what age would you say is like the right time to get your kids started with English education?
It's hard to say this in a way, but my answer is the earlier the better. Because looking at the people who living in the European countries such as Belgium, Germany, or Finland, there are so many multilinguals, right? But the difference is that Japan is a monolingual society. So Japanese people always wonder whether early English education can provide us so many good fruits, good results or benefits. And the one of the reasons why they always could be a very skeptical about early education, English education, because like providing a English education early on can do a lot of harm to development of a mother language, which is Japanese.
Yeah, earlier the better, right? So, as soon as they're born, you could technically just start reading books to them in English. You could sing to them in English. Whatever form or shape it is, having them exposed to another language is good at a younger age. And I believe that as well. I feel like the earlier, the better. Kids are just amazing when it comes to picking up on sounds. And, I'm like right in the midst of it, watching my son, Ruka, who's 1 year and 8 months old right now. And you can see that there are certain words that he has a really hard time pronouncing, but he doesn't care. He'll just say the words pronounced incorrectly, and he'll say it over and over and over and over again until he gets it. Like, for example, gochiso-sama, he had a hard time saying it. He says gomma-san. That's his way of saying gochiso-sama. It's the cutest thing in the world. Yeah. But, the thing with kids, they're not afraid. They're not scared. They just hear the words and they'll say exactly what they hear. So I think that is, one of the huge benefits of teaching kids a second language at an early age. And